So in the last class we were studying the chapter hydrogen, and we have studied about the hydrides. We studied about the hydrides and we discussed that there are three types of the hydrides. We have three types of the hydrides, and the first type was called as ionic or saline hydride. Second type was covalent or molecular hydride, and third type is metallic or non-stoichiometric hydrides. So in the yesterday's session we have studied about the ionic hydrides, and in the today's session we are going to study about covalent hydrides or molecular hydrides. So before going to the hydride, you need to know what is the meaning of covalent and what is the meaning of molecule. So covalent means it is a type of the bond, and this bond is formed by the equal sharing of the electron. So we know that in one bond we will be having two electrons. So the two electrons are equally shared and it is going to give one covalent bond. So hydrogens are capable of forming covalent bonds. In other words, we can say that they will form molecules. So molecule means when two or more than two atoms combine together, they are going to form one molecule. So that is the meaning of the molecule. So hydrogen forms molecular compounds with p block element. So hydrogen will combine with some of the p block element and it is going to form molecules, and those molecules are example for the covalent hydrides. So first of all, hydrogen will combine with carbon and we are going to get CH4. We are going to obtain CH4. So valency of the carbon is 4 actually. That is why we are going to obtain CH4, which is called as methane. It is called as methane. So this methane is example for the covalent hydride. So just like hydrogen is combined with carbon, in the same way hydrogen will also combine with nitrogen and we are going to obtain a molecule of NH3 called as ammonia. So the molecule ammonia is also example for the covalent or molecular hydride. One more example, with oxygen also hydrogen will combine and we are going to obtain a molecule of water. So this is also an example for the covalent or molecular hydride. And with fluorine, hydrogen will form hydrogen fluoride, and this is also example for covalent hydride. So again, in the covalent hydride or molecular hydride, we have three types. In the covalent or molecular hydrides. So the first type is called as electron deficient hydride. Second type is called as electron precise hydride, and third type is called as electron rich hydrides. So these are the three types of the covalent or molecular hydrides. So now let us go for the first type of the covalent or molecular hydride. So the first type is electron deficient hydride. Electron deficient hydride. So as the name is already saying, these hydrides will be electron deficient. These hydrides are electron deficient, and since they are electron deficient, they will be acting as Lewis acid. They will be acting as Lewis acids. So Lewis acids will be always gaining pair of the electron. That is why they are called as Lewis acids or electron deficient species. So these electron deficient hydrides, these are formed when hydrogen combines with 13th group elements. So these electron deficient covalent hydrides, they are formed when hydrogen element combines with 13th group elements such as boron or aluminium. So hydrogen will combine with boron and we are going to get a molecule of B2H6. So this molecule is called as diborane molecule. So this molecule is a Lewis acid. So going for the next type of the hydride, that is electron precise hydride. Electron precise hydrides. So these have required number of electron to write Lewis structure. So these kind of hydrides, that is electron precise hydrides, they have exact number of electrons that are required to write a Lewis structure. So as the name itself is suggesting, they have precise number of the electrons to form the bond. So generally here hydrogen will combine with 14th group element. Hydrogen will combine with 14th group elements and we are going to obtain electron precise hydrides. So these electron precise hydrides, they are having exact number of electrons. They are not electron deficient also, they are not electron rich also. They have exact number of the electrons from which we can write the Lewis structure. Next one, electron rich hydrides. Electron rich hydrides. So these hydrides will be having more electrons. So these are formed when hydrogen combines with elements of 15th group to element of 17th group. For example, when hydrogen combines with nitrogen, so when hydrogen combines with nitrogen, we are going to obtain NH3. I am not writing the reaction, I am just telling that hydrogen, when it combines with nitrogen, we are going to obtain ammonia molecule. Now in the ammonia molecule, we have one lone pair of electron. So this is example for the electron rich hydride. So next, hydrogen will also combine with the element oxygen, and oxygen belongs to the 16th group element, and we are going to obtain a molecule of water. And in the oxygen or in the water molecule we have two lone pair of the electrons. So this is also example for the electron rich hydrides. So next example will be when hydrogen combines with fluorine, or we can take any general halogen, we are going to obtain hydrogen halide, and this halide will be having three lone pair of the electrons. So these are electron rich hydrides. So respectively they have 1, 2 and 3 lone pairs of the electrons, and these electron rich hydrides, they will be acting as Levy's bases. They will be acting as Levy's bases. So these Levy's bases, they can donate electrons easily. Going to the next part and the last type of the metal hydrides or halides of the hydrogen, going to the last type of the hydrides. Last type of the hydrides, that is called metallic hydride. Metallic or non-stoichiometric hydrides. Non-stoichiometric hydrides. So these type of the hydrides are having one more name, that is interstitial hydrides. Interstitial hydrides. So I hope you know the meaning of the metallic, and the word stoichiometric means any number of the integer. For example, if I write reaction H2 plus N2 gives NH3. So here I can write 3H2 plus N2 gives 2NH3. So in this reaction, the stoichiometric coefficients are 3 for hydrogen and 1 for nitrogen and 2 for NH3. So whatever the number is present here, that is called as stoichiometric coefficient of the reactant or stoichiometric coefficient of the product. So whenever ammonia is formed, 3 mole of hydrogen, 1 mole of nitrogen will combine to form NH3. So generally each reaction will be having one stoichiometric coefficient. Or if I write just NH3 here, so exactly 3 hydrogens are combining with the nitrogen, so it is having a definite value. So that is termed as stoichiometry. So these type of hydrides, they don't have a particular number. For example, this interstitial hydrides. So first of all, we will understand what is the meaning of this interstitial means. So to understand the interstitial meaning, I am going to consider one solid, and this solid is made up of combination of big atoms. So when many solids have combined to form the solid, so these have combined to form one solid, so that is present in the solid state. However, here you can see a large amount of space is left unfilled. So in these spaces, hydrogen can be present. So the empty space present in between the atoms is called as interstitial space. It is called as interstitial space. So these interstitial spaces are very, very small, and this is exact location for the hydrogen to occupy. So sometimes hydrogens can occupy the interstitial spaces, and the compound formed will be called as interstitial hydride compounds. And these interstitial hydrides will be common with nickel, palladium, cerium and actinium. So these will be having interstitial hydrides, and the recent study has shown that only these metals will be having interstitial hydrides, and other elements, they are not capable to have interstitial hydrides. They will be forming some different hydrides which will be having their own structure. So some of the examples of the interstitial hydrides are lanthanum hydride 2.87. So here you can see here, we used to, before, whenever we used to write the reaction, for example beryllium hydride or lithium hydride, so we are writing exact number here. Here 2 is there, here 1 is there, right? But here we are writing 2.87. That is the reason why we are calling non-stoichiometric. This is the reason. So exact number is not there. Exact number of the hydrogen is not present in the lanthanum or in the compound. It is in the fraction. That is why we are calling non-stoichiometric. So exact number is not combining. So one more example is ytterbium hydride 2.5 and vanadium hydride 0.56, etc., etc. So these are some of the metallic hydrides or non-stoichiometric hydrides. Remember, interstitial hydrides are formed only with nickel, palladium, cerium and actinium. However, the recent study has shown that only these elements will be forming interstitial hydrides, others may not be forming interstitial hydrides. And one more point is, these hydrides, whether it is interstitial hydride or the normal hydrides, they will be conducting heat and electricity.